by your local Montana Toyota dealers.
Thursday morning, time once again for This Week in Fish and Wildlife. Joining us in the studio this morning, Andrea Jones from the Montana Department of Fish, Wildlife, and Parks. We just finished the 2017 hunt season, and now it's time to talk about 2018 and beyond. It's that time when we get together and look at what's coming up.
Right. For those in the know, we typically do this every 2 years. We have a biennial season setting process, and it is a long process. We actually started this back in the late summer. We ask people to go on and help our biologists, talk about what changes they might like to see. And a lot of people, because there's no deadline on that, don't really engage as much. But right now what we have is a set of proposals or changes to our seasons that are out there for public comment, and we every 2 years have meetings around the state with our public to discuss what changes there are. So we've got seasons setting meetings around Region 3 slated for Whitehall starting on January 3rd, so coming right up, then Bozeman, Butte, Livingston, Helena, Dillon, Lima, and Gardner. So we really get around this region. Most of those meetings start at 6 and go to 8, except for the one in Helena. Now, some of these meetings will be very well attended depending on where we are. Just certain communities are very engaged in our hunting seasons. And what we typically, the biologists typically go through the proposals, and that could be anything from we have some new hunt districts this year, for example. We've had some boundary changes. Most of them will be changing the quota numbers on certain areas. Very minimal changes this year. Not really, in my opinion, I haven't seen anything that really I would think, oh, this is super controversial, but we do have a certain amount of our public that is really engaged and likes to participate. Now, all of this information will be online, and you can comment without going to one of those meetings, and we're trying to get as much information out as possible online so that you don't have to if you can't make it to one of these meetings. But if there's something you would like to see, do comment at Fish, Wildlife, and Parks or fwp.mt.gov, and you have through January 24th at 5 p.m.
I just find it such a fascinating thing that it's as fluid as it is. I think a lot of people might just think that this is the way it is. There's going to be X number of deer here or X number of elk there. It is a really fluid process, and it's constantly evolving for the health of the wildlife population.
Right, and there are stopgaps if there were to be an emergency situation. We have that ability at any point with any species to say, wait, that wasn't right. Even if those were approved, going into the hunting season, if animals were, some disease had decimated a population, we could say, okay, we're going to curtail that hunt. That is still there, those last stopgap measures. So there's a lot of things to make sure that we're doing the right thing by the resource.
Perfect. Again, Andrea Jones from the Montana Department of Fish, Wildlife, and Parks. And of course, check out online with Fish, Wildlife, and Parks, or with us here. We will have those locations again listed if you want to go and check out on some of those meetings.
Yeah,
Andrea,
thanks.
Thank you.
This Week in Fish and Wildlife was brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places.